Hello students, welcome back to the social studies class once again. Thank you for watching the previous videos and an additional thank you for staying at home. We, all the teachers are connected to you, are coming towards you through our videos, through our lectures, through question answers. We are supporting your basic education so that you may fulfill your dreams. So your duty is to watch the videos, write all the question and answers properly in your copy. Today I came back again to take the class of social studies of class 7, and in the previous class I discussed about weather and climate. Today I am going to talk about the topic temperature. What is temperature? Its temperature is the rise in or the level of heat that is present in the atmosphere. When this heat rises, the temperature rises. When the heat decreases, the temperature decreases. This is known as temperature. If you understand it very simply, you can understand it through this example. Clear? Whenever we boil a water, what happens? The water becomes extremely heat and it starts to boil at there is a subordinate type of temperature at which the water starts boiling. That means at 100 degrees Celsius the water starts to boil. This is called a temperature. This is a basic example of temperature. As soon as we switch off the light or switch off the fire, what happens? The water starts to cool down slowly by slowly. This is known as temperature. So basically when we are facing any summer season, we find it very hot, we find it extremely unbearable. So what do? We stay inside the home. We avoid the sunlight to protect ourselves. Why do we do this? So that we may not face the extreme heat. Where do this extreme heat comes from? Obviously it comes from the sun, the light. Clear? So temperature means rise in the level of heat. Rise in the level of heat can be termed as atmosphere. When the heat increases, temperature rises. When the heat decreases, temperature also decreases. Clear? Next, we are going to talk about the various factors through which the temperature changes. Temperature does not change overnight. It takes some time. There are some factors which helps in changing the temperature. Today, we will be talking about this. So students, now we are going to discuss the factors affecting temperature. Means what are the factors that are affecting the temperature? The first and the most important one is latitude. To understand how a latitude affects the temperature, I need to show you in a diagram. The diagram is simple. First, we can say assume that this is Earth. Assume that this is the Earth. This is the equator. Okay. Alright. This is the northern hemisphere. This is the southern hemisphere. Alright. So here, the temperature always remains very hot in the equator and consequently 10 degrees towards both the northern hemisphere and towards the southern hemisphere. Means if you from the equator is situated in the 0 degree. So whenever you move towards 10 degree northern hemisphere or 10 degree southern hemisphere, the temperature is extremely hot. Means the temperature goes beyond 40 degrees Celsius and even sometimes more than 45 degrees Celsius. That means it is extremely very hot. So now the more you go upward towards the northern hemisphere or towards the southern hemisphere, if you go towards upward or downward towards northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere, the temperature starts decreasing. Why it starts decreasing? Because the sunlight falls directly in the equator in a vertical manner, means the sun rays fall directly. Clear? And the more you go outside, the sun rays fall slants. The sun rays started to slanting. The sun rays will start slanting, means it will fall like this, which means the temperature or the heat will be lesser in number. I hope you have understood how latitude affects the temperature. Next, we shall be discussing about the other topics which affects the. So, student, now we are going to discuss the factors affecting the temperature. Second point. The second point is altitude. Altitude. Before explaining altitude, let me give you one simple example, which will be helping you in understanding altitude. What is the nearby hill station? Which hill station is nearby Assam? Obviously, every one of you are very familiar. It is Meghalaya or Shillong. So now, if we compare the temperature of Assam and Meghalaya, what do you think? Which places has a very cool temperature and which place have a very hot or humid temperature? Obviously, it is the Assam which is facing a very hot and humid temperature, and Meghalaya is facing a very cool temperature. Now, a big question is why? A big question, why? Though it is very near to Assam, why still it is facing the moderate temperature, cool temperature, and why we are facing very hot and temperature? Obviously, it is because of this altitude. Now, what is altitude? Let me explain you by this diagram. Assume that this is Meghalaya. Clear? This is Meghalaya. Means Meghalaya is situated on a hill. Clear? And nearby it is Assam. Assume that this is Assam. And this is Shillong. As Shillong is situated on a hilly terrain, what is the fundamental basic policy? As I have explained you in my previous videos, that as soon as you rise from the land surface, the more you go upward towards the atmosphere, towards the sky, you will be facing a temperature drop. The temperature will start dropping per 165 meter. If you go towards upward, towards 165 meter, the temperature will start dropping by 1 degree Celsius. Clear? That means if you go 165 meter upside, you will be facing a 1 degree Celsius less. More 165 meter, you will get more 1 degree Celsius less. So this is how altitude works. Altitude has a great effect in the temperature. Clear, students? So now, in the next video, I shall explain some more factors that are affecting the temperature. Till then, I hope you have understood the explanation. If you have any problem, don't hesitate to get in touch with us. Till then, thank you. Stay safe.